Hi, I'm Trey Passer, and this is my movie review with spoilers of the movie Drive, starring Ryan Gosling, Carey Mulligan, Albert Brooks, Ron Perlman, Christina Hendricks, Oscar Isaac, and Bryan Cranston. I believe that's all the characters for now. Anyway, first of all, let me say this movie I saw it tonight at the AMC in New York. It's called Drive. Let me see that. There you go. Let's see. Okay. Anyway, this movie Drive. I saw the trailer. If you saw the trailer, you know what the main thrust of this movie is. Ryan Gosling's character is never given a name. He's just called the driver in this movie. And his part-time, he's a stuntman, and the other part, the main thrust of this movie is at nighttime. He gives anybody a 5-minute window, and he'll drive them, if they meet the 5-minute window, he'll drive them anywhere they want to go. He'll help them evade the police. So he doesn't care what you do. He doesn't carry a gun. And that's his whole thing. Now, his character, to me, I would describe his character, the best way I think to describe his character would be still waters run deep, meaning that he doesn't talk that much. I think for the movie, I think he only talks 30% of the time. And the other part is I mean, first of all, he's intense. That's another great thing about his character. He's a very intense guy. I mean, he talks, and for the most part, mostly when he's around Carey Mulligan, her character, plays a young single mom, he's reserved and quiet, almost shy, to the point, and that's the only time you ever see him really smile. Okay, but other than that, he's very intense. Okay, now Bryan Cranston, who he works for in his garage, okay, goes to the local mob bosses, played by Albert Brooks and Ron Perlman. Okay, and let me just first of all say they're fantastic in their parts. Ron Perlman, of course, and Albert Brooks rarely, every once in a while, he'll do a dramatic part, and he's absolutely fantastic in this. Okay, and also Christina Hendricks, she plays a local mob boss. No, excuse me. She plays one of the thugs, his girlfriend. Okay, and also Oscar Isaac plays the husband of Carey Mulligan, who just gets out of prison, of course, and immediately gets into trouble. And Ryan Gosling's character tries to help him because he likes the young single mother and her son. And that's when the main thrust of the movie, where everything counts, where everything goes wrong and screwy, and just the most intense violence begins. And I'm just going to give you a couple of the highlights of this movie. But like I said, basically the story is about Ryan Gosling's character. He's a driver, and during one of his gigs, he decides to help excuse me, because he sees the ex-husband, it's not the ex-husband, the husband of Carey Mulligan's character gets beat up, and he offers to help him, like I said, because he likes the mother and the son, to clear his debt with the people that he was in prison with, who offered him protection, so they charge him a high rate of interest, and the only way to clear it is to help them plan this robbery. And of course, like I said, the robbery goes horribly wrong, and the husband, ex-con husband, gets killed. Okay, and of course there's money, stolen money, the local mob girl, and it's a series of Ryan Gosling getting revenge and trying to set things right with Carey Mulligan's character. And let me say Ron Perlman is a shady guy to begin with in this movie. Of course, being a local mob boss, seems that he was behind the whole robbery, supposedly, of the pawn shop, which was really one of these young up-and-coming mob bosses he decided to rob because they disrespected him. Anyway, what happens basically is Ryan Gosling's character is trying to give the money back for the botched robbery. When all this intense violence just begins, there's a great scene in the hotel room with some intense violence. And and when I say intense, it's intense. Like I said, the movie goes from like a 0 all the way to 10 with the violence. It just escalates. Okay, and there's a great series of scenes that you'll be saying, "Oh my God!" And like I said, Ryan Gosling's character, there's a great scene also that illustrates how my point about his still waters run deep. he's sitting in a restaurant eating a pie, and you see a guy at the far end of the bar. He's staring at him, and he comes up to him and tries to mention about him being the driver for them in the past. And Ryan Gosling, they just focus on him. The camera shot is straight on him, and he just looks at the guy and just basically tells him to get away from me before I kill you. And he says it all calm and even voice, doesn't raise his voice, but he says it with such an intensity. They don't even show the other character that was talking to him, and you just hear that guy just slink away, and that's how intense Ryan Gosling's character is. And there's another great scene where he's in a hotel. When he's in the elevator of the apartment building with Carey Mulligan's character, and he's trying to explain to her about her husband being killed. When there's a local mob guy in the elevator with them, and he notices the bulge in the guy's jacket, and you think, okay, something intense is going to happen, and it does happen in that hotel, in that apartment building elevator. It does happen, but not before Ryan Gosling lays a great kiss on Carey Mulligan's character, and then all of a sudden, like I said, from 0 to 10, he just goes into kill mode and just basically stomps the guy to death, like right in front of her, which just, of course, it's just totally shocks her. But it's such an intense scene. It's just fantastic. And like I said, the rest of the movie is about Ryan Gosling trying to set things right. Trying to, basically even the score with these mob guys and them trying to get their money back. And let me just say, like I said, this movie, if Ryan Gosling wasn't a star before, he'd be a star just because of this, because he has such a quiet confidence in this movie. And like I said, and when the violence gets racketed up, it gets really ratcheted up. And like I said, even Albert Brooks is a part of the violence. And when you see him in kill mode, you're going to say, oh my God, this is Albert Brooks. But yeah, it is that good. And like I said, and I heard some reviewers saying that Carey Mulligan's character was miscast, but I don't think so. I think that very scene in the apartment building elevator just shows that they have great chemistry, and you believe it when that he would go out of his way to try to help her, because he spent time with her in the earlier part of the movie, and you could see that she was the one that made him smile. So that's I believe that in the chemistry, and I think they have chemistry in this movie. And like I said, Albert Brooks was fantastic. Ron Perlman, his usual great self. Oscar Isaac, who was in Sucker Punch, he's as the ex-husband in this movie, and he's good in his little brief role. And Christina Hendricks, her part is not that big in this movie, but she's fantastic. And who else? I'm trying to think. Who else did I leave off? And Bryan Cranston is Ryan Gosling's boss. You feel for him. His character, he's just like one of these loser guys that trying to make it. He's basically a good guy, but he basically picks the wrong friends, people to hang around with, which ultimately leads to something tragic happening to him. But like I said, I would highly recommend this movie, Drive. It's, like I said, it's super intense, and you think this movie has kind of an 80s feel to it, and especially the soundtrack, and it's sort of like a film noir movie. It's sort of like LA Confidential, how that type of movie where things, with bad guys and Ryan Gosling's character trying to beat them, and I think it's just a great movie. And like I said, if Ryan Gosling wasn't a star before, this would have definitely made him. Maybe this will make him even a bigger star. So let me put it that way, even though he is a star right now. But I would highly recommend this movie. I would give this. It got 4 stars, I think, in most of the papers, and I think I would give it 4 stars too, because it kept me super pumped up to watch it, and I was constantly involved with it and wondering what's going to happen next and what kind of insane violence. And like I said, when I say insane violence, it has insane violence. So don't take any little kid to see this movie. It's rated R for a reason, because the violence alone is just fantastic. Let me know what you think of this movie. Did you see Drive? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Do you think Ryan Gosling deserves the praise? I think he does. And I think this movie is just one of the great movies. I can't wait to get it on Blu-ray. I'm going to love this. And just to see the way they filmed it. Like I said, it has a kind of 80s feel to it. And it's just fantastic. So let me know what you think. Leave your comments below. And please rate the video. And this is Trey Pastor saying take care. Be well.